They're selling our land, they're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling Now I never been down with no OPP. I talking about selling our people's property. Don't know who doing it, so don't round me out. Don't send no police round me and tell me shush my mouth. Where's our conviction? But where's our pride? We selling everything, selling our backside. Just go online, it'll make you sick. You can buy any island, just point and click. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling our hey, hey. Ride him. My mother always say when you find a donkey, ride it. Who's donkey? What? Come on. We got a whole nation in 73. Now we getting back the whole country. What kind of fools we must be, selling out for a bag of rice and a cup of tea. You know what does bug me? Help me understand. I can't find piece of property for under 80 grand. But I can fix this, I know what to do. I can squat just like them other people try make me do. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling they're selling our country. Ooh, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling I get everybody sells some every day. Giddy up, giddy up. Come on. Oh, no. Let's go. Who's the donkey again? They're selling one island. Give away one key. What can be left for you and me? Is this the example? What's our kids to do? You want them have a sense of pride, or go selling too? Cause they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling they're selling our country, yes man. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling they're selling our country, yes. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and thank you for joining in with us. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for spending your Sundays with me every Sunday so that you can learn what is going on in our country, be educated, and spread the word, which is the most important part of what we do. That is, spread the word. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special broadcast, and what I want you to do is make sure that you come on here and you like and share right away. You have to beat the algorithms. All right. So once you do a lot of sharing, and even if you put those hearts that go up while you're watching Facebook, uh, it's going to cause the algorithm to think that this is an important video and it's going to start to share the video. So share, tag persons, and do what you can, like a lot. All right. And so we can get this message spread out. We know that the media has an agenda and they don't want the real message spread to the Bahamian people. But thank you for joining us tonight. It is a wonderful pleasure to have all of you and to always have you. I want to say a special happy birthday to Marvin Dames, belated, it was January 10th, in Grand Bahama. I want to say a special happy birthday to Mother J. Mother J has celebrated her birthday, and we want to say a very special happy birthday to you. You are a praying woman, and she is a very important supporter, and we appreciate you and we love you. I also want to say congratulations to Pastor Rikino Munka. He made a move and he started something today. And I just want to say that the Joshua generation is on the move, and uh, a new generation of young people are tired of the old ways, where politicians are connected to pastors and connected to business persons and bankers and everyone else, and they are using those connections to keep a stranglehold on the people together. They are partnering to keep a stranglehold on the people while keeping themselves enriched. A new generation of young people are rising up in every area of this society, in every facet of this society. New entrepreneurs are rising up who are going to take this country back. New Bahamians with a new mindset, an educated set of Bahamians have come back with education, been told that they're overqualified and they don't want to leave this country. We are coming to take this country back and to form the industries that they said that we are overqualified in, and to form new industries. And so a new generation of Joshuas are coming up in the religious area, in the area of politics, in the area of business and banking, and every single aspect of this country. And we are encouraging every single one of them. And we thank God for you. We need a new country. Our country is broken. Our country is broken. And we are going to fix this. The new Bahamas is at hand. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Remember to take your time, even after this show is over, um, and and share this live and in your WhatsApp groups and everywhere else. We're gonna have an interesting conversation today. I'm gonna go a little bit deep with you. I'm gonna show you some stuff today. I'm gonna show you some stuff. All right. Someone says no sound, but I'm sure there's sound on this. Someone says no sound. Hold on. Wait. Let me see if there really is no sound. Let me do a quick sound check. Come on. Come on. We can hear you? Okay. They said they can hear us. You good? Okay. They can hear. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Sound is good. Oh, and this Facebook is behind. Let's get back on there. Okay. Looks like sound is good. Sound is very, very good. Okay. So thank you. Thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is suffering from many crises, and one of them is crime. The country is completely broken in the terms of healthcare. Our utilities are broken and not functioning properly. Our roadways are broken. Our transportation system is broken. Every aspect of this country is broken, and we need to fix it. We need to fix it fast. And one of the most devastating ones is in the area of crime. And it seems like this government has no idea about crime. And so before elections, after the prime minister made a statement that he will give whistles to women to solve crimes against women, I told people that we were going to be in for a serious crime crisis when this government takes over. And people took it lightly. People just trust in politicians, or they just love their party, so they don't care. And so some of those people who don't care have lost their family members to crime. Some of those people who don't care have been victims of crime. Some of those people who just vote PLP or FNM anyway, they are suffering the consequences of a visionless leadership. We have to change that. We have to be loyal to ourselves, not politicians this time. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to, excuse me, I'm going to dissect the Prime Minister's speech. I'm going to play his speech for you. We have it here ready to go. We're going to play his speech for you, and I'm going to dissect this speech. In this speech, it was very disappointing. It was very disappointing. We heard nothing new. We even heard him repeat ideas, things that they've been doing for the last several months that isn't working. If it isn't working, why would you repeat it? Why would you say that this is what we have been doing if it's clear that it doesn't work and it won't work? That's puzzling to me. Nonetheless, we heard no vision for crime. The only thing I heard was that they're going to harass law-abiding citizens. They're going to harass you with traffic stops. Traffic stops do not prevent crime. I am a former police officer. They may get the token arrest here and there. They will make a lot of money because Brave is using this as an opportunity. They find every opportunity to find a way to suck money from us. And Brave is going to use this as an opportunity to get more money into the treasury by hitting us with tickets. They're going to stand on the corners. The criminals can see them from a mile away, because if you have a car full of drugs, if you have a car full of guns, you are not going to pull up to the police. You're going to see them on the corner and you're going to turn around. You can tell when a roadblock is coming up because there's unnecessary and irregular traffic. If you see you're coming to an area and there's traffic on that road, and there normally isn't traffic on that road, it's because the police is there. The criminals know this, and they're going to go another way. If they are trafficking in something that they shouldn't, they're not going to go on roads where they cannot turn off, like the highways with the roundabouts. They're not going to go on one-way streets. They're going to go on streets where they know they can turn around at any time. And so, yes, they're going to get some people who are slack, the rookies. But they're not going to get the real criminals, and it's not going to solve crime. There's a bigger issue here, and we're going to discuss all of this tonight. Just hang with me, and we're going to discuss this. And I'm going to show you the real root of crime. And I want to show you what the real problem is. And I want to show you, you'll see. First, we're going to dissect this. I'm going to show you some stuff, and then we're going to open the phone lines to let you have your say so you can tell us what you feel about what you heard. But in the meantime, I'm sorry to have to put you through this again, but it's our responsibility to dissect this for the regular Bahamian people who may be bamboozled. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the crime plan, or the non-crime plan, of the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
In this, my first public national statement for the year, I would have preferred to have taken this time to set out the plans we have in place to further lift our national development in 2024. Instead, with the country having witnessed 11 murders over the past 14 days, I want to speak to you about the things we are doing to reduce the incidence of crime and the plans we are beginning to implement, ultimately to end crime being committed in the first place. Over the past year, and in the past few weeks in particular, New Providence has seen the scene of senseless carnage, much of it attributed to persons already on bail for serious offenses. Most murderers and victims have also been connected to those associated in some way with gangs. Gang-related activity has plagued our country for far too long. Over the years, a number of initiatives have been launched to try to deal with it. We are now preparing the most comprehensive approach yet. Our frontline response to the present crisis is to bring forward a strategy which is already in the advanced stages of planning. Our approach lies in 3 stages: clear, Hole and Bill. We're going on the offensive. But simply, our first phase is to clear out the gangs from our neighborhoods. Our police, armed with new resources and resolve, will strike hard against these gangs. We're not just disrupting them, we are dismantling them.
Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, the Prime Minister is about to tell you what they are going to do about crime. What is disappointing about this is it is 2.5 years into their administration. 2.5 years into their administration. And you're still telling us what you are going to do. You came into this telling us that you were ready from day one. Why are you now telling you what your plan is to deal with crime? There is nothing new as it relates to crime. Nothing new. You had the same amount of murders, basically, and the same amount of everything. You knew what was going on. You knew about the gangs. In fact, many of them campaigned for you. And so for you to be 2.5 years into your administration, this means half of your administration is gone. And now you are still planning and telling us what you are going to do as of this week? That is beyond ridiculous. That is an utter failure. Everything that you were going to do about crime coming into this, because you talked about Dr. Minnis and his failure to deal with crime, everything that you are saying that you are going to do, you should have already done. You are a failure. Your government is failing. And it's making no sense. American governments have 4 years. By 2.5 years, they are winding down. They've done everything. By the 2-year mark, you should have done everything that you planned to do. And it should already be in motion. Why are we still talking about what you are going to do? It is because you didn't get those whistles from China like you planned. And now you don't know what to do. You are lost. And instead of stepping down graciously like Dr. Minnis did, you want to continue and let this country suffer in the meantime. I will let this continue so that we can hear what you are going to do that you should have done for the last 2 years while you were traveling and partying and balling and dancing the night away.
We'll show no mercy to those who have shown no mercy to their fellow citizens. If you choose crime, you will face the full weight and might of the law.
If you choose crime, you will receive the full weight and might of the law? Isn't that what should always happen? Isn't it that when you commit a crime, you should do the time? Isn't that what they've done to all of you who are not connected to politicians? I don't understand this. Are you used to criminals who have been getting mercy? So police officers would see someone robbing a bank and then they would say, give him a break. Is that what has been going on? Is it because that you guys would work out things for your criminals who are political cronies that you think that all criminals get that same advantage? Is it because you were the lawyer of a hardened drug dealer, many of them, that you think that everyone gets the same kind of breaks? Everyone does not get the same kind of breaks. At this time, there is no mercy that I know about. Not in my 10 years in the police force for criminals. We don't hear of someone that raped a woman or a child and say, you know what? We give you a break, but don't do it again or we can lock you up. What are you talking about?
I have to be clear, these neighborhoods, we're not just walking away. We'll move to phase 2, which is the whole phase. Our police will hold these communities.
They are going to clear the neighborhoods of gangs. That is their big crime solution. They're going to clear the neighborhoods. What are you going to do? Arrest them? You're going to demolish their homes? What does clearing the neighborhoods mean? What does that mean? Because this is what you should have been doing, arresting the criminals. You know who all the criminals are, especially you. You know who they are. So what are you going to do now? And you say you're not going to leave it alone. Let's continue.
By maintaining an ongoing, relentless presence. This is an area which we think has not been addressed fully in the past. We are sending a clear message to any criminal who thinks they can make a comeback. We are here. We're here to stay, and we're not going anywhere. This phase is about constant vigilance and strength. Lastly, we build. Not just buildings and roads, but building opportunities, building futures, building hope. This is about investing in our communities, creating opportunities that didn't exist before, and ensuring that crime is never again seen as a desirable option. We're not just reclaiming our streets, we are revitalizing them. Clear, whole, build.
That sounds like a statement, not a plan. You're going to create opportunities for the criminals. I think that's what you're saying. You embarrassed the whole nation when you made a statement last year that you were going to be giving jobs to gang members, to criminals, to gang leaders. And that was your solution. That was your solution. Let me make this clear to y'all, and y'all can clip this and send this out. Last year, it made international news when the Prime Minister said that he was going to provide jobs for criminals in this country. Jobs. At that time, I said it was not only a ridiculous idea to aid and abet the criminals, that it would lead to higher crime. It would lead to more murders. Why? Because these guys go out to their friendly neighborhood gun dealer and rent guns. They go out with $700 or so, whatever it is, rent a gun, and then go on the street, do a robbery, return the gun. This is the kind of system that is happening right now. The police knows it. The government knows this. And so now, what stopped a lot of those fellas from committing crimes because they couldn't afford to rent a gun. Now, they can rent the gun because you give them a job, now they're working, and now you're aiding them with their criminal activities instead of stopping them from their criminal activities. Being in a gang is a crime. If you're able to bring gangs together, like the commissioner said that he met with gangs, he's been meeting with them, you're meeting with the criminals? That's like someone is a serial killer. Someone is a bank robber. The government, the police, calls them in and has a meeting with them and say, man, listen, I need you to stop robbing banks. You call them in because you know that they are that. It is a crime to be in a gang. That is the law already, Section 90, A and B of the Penal Code. So if you call them in because they're leaders of gangs, you know they're in a gang. How could you call them in, talk to them, and let them go? How could you call? Does anyone get what I am saying? It's not what the gangs do alone that's a crime. It's being in the gang itself. So you're telling me that you know these guys are in gangs, and what you do was, all right, this guy is robbing banks. And so to stop and lower bank robberies, you call him in and say, listen, man, we give you a job. All right? We know you're robbing banks. Here's a job. Let's continue.
It's an approach which has been used in some form or another in other countries with significant degrees of success. We are adapting it to suit the situation on the ground here in the Bahamas, and we are fully resolved to do what is necessary to succeed. Most of the killings are gun-related. We have far too many firearms on our streets. In fact, we have already begun to take more aggressive actions against those found in possession to support our zero-tolerance approach. Our anti-gang and firearm task force is in full swing. Last year, the judiciary designated a magistrate specifically to deal with firearms offenses. We now have quicker prosecutions with stiffer penalties being imposed from the date of first appearance in court to conviction or...
Oh, you see how it shifted now? This was pre-recorded. He couldn't talk to the BAME people live. They had to let him read, and as he make mistakes, stop and start over again. Jesus. What stiffer penalties? If you are doing this speech, you should say what the stiffer penalties for firearms will be. Let me tell you what the stiffer penalties for firearms will be. under the Coalition of Independence. Get your pen, Philip Brave Davis. I know you are watching this. If you are carrying an unlawful gun, you are carrying it for one reason. An illegal gun is different than a knife or a cutlass. An illegal gun has one purpose. Someone carrying an illegal gun has one purpose: to kill. Someone carrying a knife could be a cook, could be a chef, it could be their tool. Someone carrying a cutlass, they may weed yards, they may be a handyman. If you're carrying a gun, there's only one reason you're carrying that gun, that is to kill. And so we're going to treat the person who is carrying the AK-47 the same way you treat the person who killed with the AK-47. You give them the same sentence that they would get if they were charged with attempted murder. They should get up to life imprisonment an AK-47, a machine gun, or a handgun. They have one reason for that. They have no other reason. What is your purpose if you pull over a car, there's some young men in it, ski masks in the car, and they got a 9mm, an AK-47 in the car? What were they going to do? They were not going to the carnival to spend money on the over and under table, which half of it goes to the PLP. I'm reminding you, I don't go to the carnival because it funds the PLP. Half of all the profits from the carnival go to the PLP. So I don't carry my children there. If it wasn't political, I would carry it there. But that's funding the degradation of our country. Sorry for that little sidebar. If you are carrying an AK-47, someone says to shoot pigeons. Nope, that's where you get a licensed shotgun or licensed rifle. Or licensed handgun, because the Prime Minister is giving out guns like candy on the streets right now. They're giving out guns to anyone willing to pay for it. Handguns. They're giving out to business people. I don't have a problem with that, but they're also giving it to people who have a pass. And we don't know what they're going to do with it now. And now those people can use it to intimidate other people if they want to. But, like I said, if you are carrying an AK-47 and these kinds of guns that these fellas are using, we're going to give you the same sentence that you would get for attempted murder. And we would stretch that, depending on how you were caught, up to life in prison. You will never see the streets again. I guarantee you they will not carry a gun again. But if they know now that they can get caught with a gun and do 3 years, and they don't do the full 3 years, they don't count weekends, they're going to do 2/3 of it. They only do 2/3 of a sentence. And so that means they do 2 years or so. They're going to do that. We need real stiff penalties. If you are serious about crime, life imprisonment for gun crimes. Problem solved. They did the same thing in England, and they solved all of their gun crimes, their gun issues. Murders with guns went down to almost nothing. People resorted to knives, which caused the murder rate to go down because it's harder to kill with a knife. People started killing with knives instead of guns. What does that tell you? But they're not serious about it because a lot of their supporters are these kind of people that they're talking about. Let's continue.
Acquittal is now taking an average of 2 months rather than a number of years, as was previously the case. The backlog is also being cleared. Swift justice is at work. We will build on this success. Friends, you won't believe where we are finding these guns. Stashed in cereal boxes and tucked away in snack packets, buried in innocent-looking surroundings. Guns are also being hidden by girlfriends, parents, and grandparents. Most worryingly, children and young people are being used to hide weapons near schools or even attempting to smuggle them in their underwear. And this is true of both girls.
Philip Brave Davis has been a member of parliament since 1987. 1987. Philip Brave Davis. These kinds of things was happening this whole time. He was in cabinet. He knew about it. Why are you now, 2.5 years later, talking about it's shocking to you or saying this as if you don't know that this is going to happen? This has been happening. And so why 2.5 years later, you are just talking about it? Not even with a strategy, just mentioning it. We don't need you to mention that guns are found in cereal boxes. We need to know what you are going to do about it. I need to hear you say that they will get life imprisonment for guns because we're serious about this. I'm not hearing that.
And boys, is clear evidence of the lengths criminals will go. Let me tell you, no matter how clever these gangs think they are, our task force is smarter, tougher, and more determined. We are uncovering their tricks, and we are putting an end to their game.
Maybe someone needs to let Brave Davis know that he's losing this war on crime. Praising yourself doesn't count. You are losing the war on crime. People have stopped reporting crimes. Y'all even recently talked about a woman who someone did something to her and she didn't report it to the police, and later the person came and killed her. She didn't report it to the police. A lot of people are not reporting things to police because they've lost confidence in the system. So crime is not down. The reporting of crime is down. You can't praise yourself when you're losing. You can't get an F on your exam and say, oh, but mommy, my handwriting was so good. Yeah, I crossed all my T's and dotted all my I's. But you are failing.
There's another hard truth at play. We don't make guns here in the Bahamas. These firearms are coming from abroad, primarily from the United States. I've been straight with the United States government about the need to step up their game, and they have, as a result, tightened their response. Our partnership with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is strengthening. We're not just talking, we're taking action. We are tracking down Bahamians with dual citizenship who have been buying guns in the US and trafficking them here. And it's working. We've already busted some major operations. During the past 2 years, we have significantly increased the resources to help the police to be more.
He talked about guns coming from the United States. Everyone on the streets knows that the majority of the guns don't come from the United States. I'm not saying none does, some does. The majority of the guns come through Haiti, from the US through Haiti. The Haitians can buy guns freely from dealers in the US and legally import those guns. And then they sell them on the street. And then they ship them to the Bahamas. They don't get AK-47s from the United States. The Kalashnikov is a Russian gun. They're not buying them from the United States. That's the guns they are using. They are buying these guns from Haiti. The fact that the Prime Minister just ignored that in his crime speech means that they know what's going on and they are complicit. You are talking to the United States when the majority of guns is coming by boat from Haiti. And these boats you are not stopping. You're not talking about these boats landing anymore. You have no interest in these boats landing. The Defense Force is not stopping any boats that are coming in. But the guns are coming from Haiti. We have to stop gun proliferation. One, some of the guns are coming on yachts from America. When they bring the guns to the Bahamas, all they have to do is register the gun. They don't have to prove anything else. Just that you come on a yacht, you're a foreigner, okay, just let customs know and you keep the gun on the boat. But when they are leaving, they don't have to register to show that they're carrying the gun with them. because of the proliferation of guns, we need to make sure that if you come on a yacht and you want to have a gun with you, then when you are leaving, you let us know and you make sure we see you carry that gun with you. That is going to slow down. It's not foolproof, but it's going to slow down the proliferation of guns, because right now they can clearly bring the gun in on a yacht, sell it to someone in the Bahamas, and just leave. And they did it legally. The government knows this. The administration knew this, but none of them will do anything about it because they want the doors open to bring in guns. We have to focus on these Haitian sloops and ships that are bringing in the guns. Focus on them. Haitian sloops are still coming in, and Haitian boats are still coming in. Every Tuesday, a boat comes in into Eleuthera, right behind the Windermere. We know. We have video. Right behind the Windermere, in Eleuthera, every Tuesday. Sometimes they would miss a Tuesday. Right in Eleuthera, right now. The Defense Force is not stopping them. Nothing is being done. People, guns, and drugs. Right in Eleuthera. Do something about this. We have to x-ray, not all of them, we have to x-ray periodically the containers that are coming into the Bahamas to make sure that persons who are bringing in containers and they're going straight to their business and being open at their business, to make sure that they're not bringing in guns, etc., in those containers. All right? And so this is some things that we have to do to stop the proliferation.
Effective. We have recruited over 200 more officers, brought more vehicles onto the streets, provided more technological support, more firearms, and so on. We now need to go even further. Trained police officers are already in every school.
They've been hiring police officers every year since you were an MP in 1987. Hiring police officers does not solve crime alone. Tell us stuff that is going to work. Tell us your vision and plan and what you're going to do. We've heard nothing yet.
Will enhance their capacity to ensure safety at school and build positive relationships with students. We'll increase police presence in high crime areas to deter criminal activities. We will install more state-of-the-art surveillance technology using facial recognition CCTV to help with crime detection and prevention.
We've been hearing that one since the early 2000s. CCTVs have been installed. We've paid for them over and over, and they just keep them off. They want the criminals to be able to do what they're doing. We're convinced of that. CCTVs are there now, and they are being kept off. They're being kept out of order because that's what they want. We're not impressed with that. And so, yes, someone is going to get a contract to install more CCTVs, as was done before. They're going to install the ones that have facial recognition. It's nothing new. And then they're not going to utilize it.
We are encouraging officers to build stronger community ties in order to improve intelligence gathering. We are creating dedicated teams to provide assistance and protection to witnesses in criminal cases. We are reviewing the operation of the Confidential Informant Fund with a view to increasing resources to enhance the effectiveness of information gathering.
Hold on, wait. How are you going to protect the witnesses? We need to partner with other countries, United States, Turks and Caicos, other countries, to send witnesses in important cases. It's difficult to hide in the Bahamas. And so you need to consider a partnership with other countries, for example, the United States and Canada, where we can send our witnesses over, and you have to take care of them. They're in a witness protection program, which means you're responsible for them, like they do in the United States. You have to give them a new identity. You can't put them in the Sun Fund and say you're protecting them. What is your plan? We heard nothing. This is not a plan. Next, you talk about whistleblowers. Is this man serious? Okay, we've had several witness blowers under this administration, and all of them have been victimized and transferred and fired. The Deputy Director of Immigration, Ms. Faustine Major Smith, the Director of Immigration, Faustine, the Deputy Director, was put on leave for whistleblowing against the darkness and evil of Keith Bell. And so was the director. What are you talking about? In any other country, they would have been rioting in the streets. How could this man do this? A civil servant from the Ministry of Transport. The case is in court now. Ministry of Housing. Whistleblowers are being victimized under this PLP government. And you're talking about new whistleblower legislation? Oh, God. But maybe Bahamians like failing. This actually sounds good to some people. They just don't care. They just need their party to win. And so forget about your country. It's not until you're the victim of crime. And then they're going to say, oh, the government can't solve crime. We'll get to that. But don't talk about whistleblowers when you all are victimizing whistleblowers. The Deputy Director of Immigration is still on leave. And there's others I can mention.
And covert operations. We are constructing a national forensic laboratory in order to reduce our dependency on foreign jurisdictions.
Okay. It's 2.5 years into your administration. You are now constructing a forensic laboratory. That's your word. Laboratory. 2.5 years in, you're telling us what you're going to do. Where's this laboratory? Can you tell us where this laboratory is? Because we see groundbreaking for everything. We didn't see the groundbreaking for that one. Are you telling the truth? So this is the only building that y'all have not had a groundbreaking for. The only one.
Then be able to conduct our own forensic analysis, which will significantly speed up investigations and improve the quality of evidence used in trials. We are going to introduce the toughest anti-gang legislation ever. If you are associated with gang, we're coming after you. If you have a lot of shiny things with no way to explain your wealth, we're going to seize what you have. But let's be clear.
If you have a lot of shiny things and no way to explain your wealth, Samuel 90 knows had a lot of shiny things. Where did his wealth go? Who has his wealth? Who is holding on to his wealth? If you have a lot of shiny things, fellas out there, your Jesus piece, your big cross, just keep it dull, okay? Don't shine it. Just keep it dull. We could name a list of criminals associated with the Progressive Liberal Party and associated with lawyers in the Progressive Liberal Party. Y'all are going to take your clients' things. So the Minister of National Security is going to go after his clients. Alfred says he's going to go after his clients. Brave Davis is going to go after his clients. Let's continue.
This is not just about more police on the streets. It's about smarter, strategic policing. We are targeting the hotspots, dismantling the networks, and choking off the lifelines of those criminal organizations.
So for 2 years, when y'all was saying y'all had a plan, excuse me, and that y'all had a strategy, y'all wasn't doing that before. So what y'all was doing? So y'all wasn't targeting them before? Like, what were y'all doing? So now you're going to target them? Brave, election year after next. This year go fast. Then next year will be gone. Then it's election.
Our message to the gangs is unequivocal. You will find no safe haven in the Bahamas. We'll find you, we'll stop you, and we'll bring you to justice.
Except for if you're a crony of the Progressive Liberal Party or a supporter of them. You can take 10 years to build a building, for example, in 8 Mile Rock. You could get arrested for drugs and money laundering while the building is not being built. And you could use drug money for all manner of things, buildings all over this country. Our government has been allowing drug dealers to use drug money to build government buildings and promising to pay the drug dealer back. Our governments, not just this one, low-cost homes have been built. We just saw some. In Abaco, pretty colorful low-cost homes have been built and are sitting there because the drug dealer put up the money and they owe the drug dealer and can't pay him. But now we're going to get serious on crime. So the government can have the shiny things from the drug dealers' money, and we can use it for the public purse. But now it's a problem. Bahamas crime is intrinsically connected. It's inseparable. Crime is connected to governments in this country. I want you to understand that. Crime is empowered by governments. Do you think that Perry Christie just decided to go against the referendum that said no to gaming? You think he just said, you know what? Forget it. Let's forget the people. I'm just going to go against them. Don't you think he had some incentive? Think. And as we keep allowing this to continue, our country is deteriorating at every turn. Crime pays in this country.
My fellow Bahamians, one of the hallmark values of my administration is compassion. I am proud of this. We aim to provide competent, compassionate leadership for all Bahamians. This reflects one of my core personal values as to how I think decent human beings ought to treat each other. But anyone who mistakes compassion for weakness is in for a very, very rude awakening. We are all likely to be affected by the more intrusive policing which is coming. We will not violate anyone's civil liberties, but you are likely to be impacted by more roadblocks and unannounced police action. This may make you late for your appointments or delay plans you have, but this is a small price to pay for the collective benefit of having our streets made safer and our lives less blighted by murder and other violent crimes.
Traffic stops are going to make the street safer. All right, brave. They know who the criminals are. The commissioner of police admitted that he's met with them. He's been meeting with them. One consultant said they've been meeting with them. If you know who the criminals are, let me tell you what they did in New York. They targeted the criminals. How about targeting the criminals instead of targeting the innocent Bahamian people? You know who the criminals are. Put a real task force together. If Smudgy or Pudgy or Togi and Bobo or whoever is a criminal, he needs to be able to commit crimes. You watch his every move, like the FBI does. They will put a man on you. They will put a team on you. They will have a van outside, parked outside of your house, outside of your restaurant. They will rent a space across from your house to watch you. They will tap your house and they will watch your every move. Why are you just casting your nets on every Bahamian to make us late for our appointments, make us late for school, make us late for our job so that we are penalized? Why should we be treated like the criminals? Target the criminals, not innocent Bahamians, Philip Brave Davis. That is beyond idiotic that would come from a prime minister. You know who the criminals are. If the man is a drug dealer, he needs to move his gun, his drugs. Watch him. This is so common sense. How could I could grab a child right now, a child, and they could tell you the same thing that I'm telling you right now. Jesus. Philip Brave Davis, we don't need you on the streets trying to collect more money from Bahamians who are already suffering. That's all that is, a trick. They had this stupidity when they joined the force. They used to put all police on 12 hours whenever crime was high to make it seem that they were doing something. They'll put police on 12-hour shifts. That was their big solution. It did nothing. You'd have a bunch of police playing dominoes in the police station because they don't have enough cars, so all of the police is now to work. It did nothing. It was just a PR stunt. Now this man is giving this idiotic plan and telling you he's going to harass you because of what the criminals are doing instead of harassing the criminals.
We ask for your cooperation, support, and trust.
I do not intend to cooperate with the Prime Minister of this country harassing innocent Bahamians. Instead of focusing on the criminals. Put a task force together and target the known criminals. But they working with y'all. They PLP generals. They campaigning with y'all. So you can't target them. You got to target the innocent people. And because people are going to see police on the runabouts and the streets, you can be able to say, yeah, the police doing a good job. They see, I can see them now. Bahamians, when you see Brave Davis on the corner trying to collect taxes, you all form your WhatsApp groups and let people know. I don't feel Like we should. Now you may say, oh, well, you're helping the criminal. The criminal is going to know. They communicating with each other. The minute a police roadblock happening on a roundabout, all the criminals already know. They don't know. Before they move their drugs on that route, they sending someone on that route ahead of them. They're not just going to run that route. Someone could drive ahead. And they can say, they call back and say, but the police up here, don't come this way. Let's try the next way. Yeah, I can turn around. Let me go there ahead of you. Come on, man. Bahamians, y'all form your WhatsApp group. And whenever they doing this foolishness to get taxes off of Bahamian people, to rape us and rob us, because it's only against us. WhatsApp everybody in all the groups and let them know where these roadblocks are happening. Why am I saying that? Because it is not the solution. It will only affect Bahamians and not the criminals.
As the police go about their business, rather than complain about any inconvenience, may we thank those officers who are working on our behalf. In turn, officers will be reminded that they are to operate at all times within the law and treat each person with the necessary courtesies and dignity that they deserve. We are all in this together, and together we will win. But our fight against crime isn't just about gangs and guns. Social and domestic violence is a cancer in our society, eating away at the fabric of our communities. We seem to have lost the ability to deal with our conflicts in ways which don't automatically lead to violence. That's why we have set up a dedicated domestic violence unit within the Royal Bahamas Police Force. This isn't just another police department. We've got officers specifically trained to handle these sensitive cases, to protect the victims and deal with the perpetrators the way they deserve to be dealt with. But we need to go further. And so I'm asking ministers to recommend a package of measures which may be adopted to help improve the ways in which we resolve our conflicts across the whole society.
Wait. This is 2.5 years later. Now you're going to ask someone to put something together to resolve the conflicts across society. 2.5 years later. These conflicts have been happening. This is nothing new. Brave, this you and what's his name, Fitzgerald holding up the sign. This is nothing new. Brave, you went on the news and justified why you needed to hold up this thing about murder. It was good then. This is absolutely ridiculous. Let me hurry and finish this.
Cussing, fists, knives, and guns have no place in how we resolve our differences.
Brave Davis just said cussing, fists, knives, and guns. Cussing. The man telling you how to, the dictator telling you how to talk now. Cussing. This Brave Davis who said the BS word in the House of Assembly. He said bull ass in the House of Assembly. Him, Philip Brave Davis. They are rowing in the House of Assembly every week. And now they want to tell you, don't cuss. Continue.
While the police move forward to clear, hold, and build our communities, there's still much, much more that needs to be done to reduce crime in our country. In the past, while a lot of attention has been given to the policing effort, other factors which contribute substantially to crime have not had the same focus. Back in August last year, we agreed a strategy which would tackle the entire criminal life cycle. We recognize that we need both.
What is a criminal life cycle? That kind of reminds me of when Perry Chris used to say these big words, but they weren't really words. And when you went in the dictionary to look for the word, it wasn't there. What is a criminal life cycle? Someone say Brave Davis. Y'all ain't safe.
A whole of government and whole of society approach. If we are both to reduce crime as well as root out the causes of crime. In October, we convened a gang crime and justice task force to drive the implementation of that strategy. While it is driven by me and the team in my office, it is chaired by the Minister of Education and the Minister of National Security. The task force meets weekly and is attended by a number of ministers, the Commissioner of Police, Commissioner of the Bahamas, Department of Correctional Services, and the Commodore of the Defense Force and their teams. Other non-governmental participants attend the task force as needed.
So y'all been doing that, and it ain't been working, and yet you're still repeating that. Brave, don't say things that you've been doing if it hasn't been working. That is ineffective. Give us the plan for what you're going to do that is going to work. Don't tell us what you did that didn't work.
The strategy emerged from an understanding that crime is not just a legal issue, but a societal one. And the causes of crime are deeply rooted in a range of social, economic, and psychological factors. The strategy draws on contemporary research, successful models from around the world, and consultations with experts across various fields. We break it down into 5 pillars for action. Firstly, prevention. This is the ultimate aim of all our efforts, to prevent crime being committed in the first place. This pillar focuses on addressing the root causes of crime. It involves community development, educational initiatives, social services, and economic opportunities, aiming to prevent the emergence of criminal behavior, particularly among at-risk populations.
Okay. Brave, let me tell you how you prevent crime. You identify who the criminals are. You stake them out. You listen to their conversations. You put heat on them to where no one will want to deal with them. 1. 2, you find them. You find out where they're going to land the boat. You find out where they're going to land the guns. You find out where the deal is going to happen. You watch this on TV. I'm sure you watch TV. That actually happens in real life, in real countries. And you catch them in the act. When they pull up to make their deal, exchange the money and drugs, you pull up and you arrest them. You catch them in the act. That is how you prevent. Jesus.
Secondly, detection. We need to strengthen our efforts in detection and make sure they are sufficiently linked with all the other areas that are contributing to the growth in crime. It involves modernizing policing methods, enhancing training, and incorporating technology for efficient crime prevention and detection. Our action plan to clear, hold, and build will drive this pillar.
It's not a plan. That's a statement, a sentence. Detection is your ability to find out who committed the crime after it was committed. You're mixing prevention and detection now. Detection means that the crime happened and we need to detect who did it. Like a detective, you need to find out who committed the murder. So that's where the forensic lab comes in. That's why more training from the Royal Mounted, from the Scotland Yard, from the FBI, etc., and partnering with them because we're in trouble. If you don't know how to do the surveillance, if you don't have the skills, hire them, bring them in. The same way you work with DEU, you can work with the FBI or the CIA if you have to. It will benefit them because a lot of our crime spills over into America. and they would be willing to work with you and maybe even fund it. Okay? It's just some ideas. But detection is how you detect. Right now, a lot of our crime is detected by what was he wearing? Who would want to see him dead? Where were you at this time? No, we need more investigation than that. And so that's what detection is. Clearly, whoever wrote this speech for you, the Trey Ramming, has no idea about policing. And you should have let the police commissioner who worked at CID before read this speech before you put this out. Otherwise, you would not have embarrassed yourself talking about detection in the way you did.
Thirdly, there's the pillar which covers everything relating to prosecutions. Once charges are brought against an individual, the criminal justice system needs to provide a swift and fair process. Actions taken under this pillar include reforms in the judicial system.
Wait, how you get to the judicial system and you all took 2 months to even talk to Kirk Cornish? How do you get to the judicial system? Oh, this is the mercy that you were talking about. Kirk Cornish. Who's the other MP? You're in deal with Keith Bell yet? Have you gotten to dealing with Keith Bell yet? Have the police even spoken to Colby Davis? How do we get to judiciary when we have a policing system that has some people who are untouchable, including criminals connected to the PLP?
To expedite legal proceedings, the establishment of special courts to handle specific types of crimes, and the provision of support systems for victims and witnesses.
Great idea. Give credit to good ideas. But it's an old idea. And why is it 2.5 years later that you're seeing this needs to be done? Oh, you were busy traveling and dancing.
The fourth pillar is that of punishment. We need to ensure that while fair and proportionate punishments are imposed, they also need to act as deterrents to those thinking about engaging in criminal acts. In consultation with the Chief Justice and other stakeholders, we therefore propose to introduce sentencing guidelines and integrate restorative justice practices as part of the appropriate punishment regime. Finally, we will
punishment guidelines, serious offenses for guns, if you want it to be serious, serious effects, serious sentences for child molesters, the death penalty. Waiting to hear that. The death penalty, I'll wait.
Prioritize rehabilitation. This final pillar aims to prepare offenders for successful reintegration into society. There's no point releasing people back into the community if we have not tackled the behaviors that caused them to offend in the first place. It includes vocational training, educational programs, mental health and substance abuse treatment, and support networks to reduce the chances of people falling back into offending. The reason why each of these 5 pillars is so important is that they are all interconnected. Each one has a major effect on the others. We have put together a number of initiatives under each pillar, some of which are already underway. Tomorrow, my office will release a list of some of these programs so that you can see the range of interventions that are taking place. I want to make special mention here of the issues surrounding the granting of bail. The issue of bail has been widely debated. This is understandable, given the fact that so many of the murders being committed are done so by those who are out on bail, and that those on bail themselves in turn become victims of murder. I understand the frustration and the blame shifting that have surfaced during these debates, but there are some realities which must be faced. A judge has the right to use his discretion when granting bail. Judges in the Bahamas, though, live in the Bahamas, and they know the truth of the statistics. Releasing these men on the streets is akin to a countdown to a death sentence. We all have a responsibility to address this issue: the judiciary, lawyers, and central government. In this context, I think it important to address a troubling situation where we find repeat serious offenders being granted bail and either becoming victims of murder or perpetrating serious offenses while on bail. These, in my opinion, justify a more aggressive approach by the judiciary in denying bail in these cases.
By the judiciary, the government can make laws. If the government feel the judiciary is going to be against the law, the government can propose a referendum. Let me say this again. Any law that the government feel the judiciary, the Privy Council, or anyone is going to oppose, they can specifically outline it in the Constitution by going to referendum. No one will be able to override it. If you say these are the reasons someone is going to be executed and get a death penalty, the Privy Council can do nothing. If you say that under these circumstances, you cannot get bail in this country, because, the Constitution now gives you reason to do that. But if you outline it, then no one will be able to get bail who shouldn't get bail in this country. Philip Brave Davis knows that. And so, in other words, what he's saying is, they ain't gonna do nothing.
In my view, the prosecutors must likewise be more aggressive in appealing instances where bail is granted and the elements I've just described exist. Tomorrow will be our National Day of Prayer. I hope that each of you will participate in whatever way you can, so that we can provide each other with our mutual support as we engage in national soul searching. I'm grateful to the Christian Council for convening this day to bring our nation together and pray for healing. We all need to play our part. Whatever success we may have from our whole of government approach will only go so far. We need everyone, the whole society, to join in the effort. If you are a parent or friend or neighbor or family member who sees a gun under the bed or in the closet and
let me tell you what should have been done right away. You should have called for some of the Defense Force officers to be called in. They have no power on land except the Governor General gives it to them. And for this special purpose, temporary purpose, you should call Defense Force officers while you're hiring more police officers and training them to go and do rudimentary tasks, to do everyday tasks with police officers. So you could have Defense Force out with police officers doing certain tasks. Put them on certain task force to raise your numbers of trained persons, train them to go out and deal with these gangs, etc., with the weaponry, to go and take them on, to increase your numbers quickly. Put the Defense Force officers on the ground and give them the authority to be there with the police officers, and use trained police officers to start targeting the criminals. Have Defense Force officers guarding more buildings and police officers. Have them also doing patrols with police officers, etc., and doing other tasks that police officers should be doing. Free up the police officers to be able to target the criminals so that they could get them off the streets and catch them in the act of whatever it is that they're doing. Use the Defense Force. It's a very simple, quick solution. Use police officers who are trained lawyers, get them in the Central Detective Unit as consultants and working in position to make sure that we have ironclad cases. Use police officers who are trained lawyers in prosecution, instead of just using regular police officers. Whether it's magistrate court or any other court, use lawyers in the Supreme Court and lawyers who are police officers and lawyers who don't have a job. We have many lawyers who have no work to do, but they're trained in the law. Have them dealing with your prosecutions so that the police officers are not losing so many cases. So train lawyers in CID, in the financial crimes unit, etc., assisting with these investigations, and train lawyers in prosecution who are police officers or ones who come in as consultants. Okay, and so that way, with bringing the defense laws, etc., you don't have to harass Bahamians because you don't have to look and guess, oh, is a criminal in this car? Is a criminal in that car? You think any gun in that car? No, you will know where the guns are because only certain people can bring in guns. Only certain people have the connections. Philip Brave Davis, did you have a fella who was a gun runner as one of your aides? As one of your people who dealt with guns? You need to let the Bahamian people know. That's a question that I have for you. Please answer that question. And while you're answering that question, tell us who is Mighty Munka. On a separate note, he's one of your aides. Can you tell us who that is? First name Mighty, second name Spartacus, last name Munka. Good, nice fella. Who's he? Y'all can't solve crime, Philip Brave Davis. And you know why. I'm going to leave that there. I know he had more to say. I can't take any more of that. I'm going to open the phone lines. I have some other stuff to talk about. But I'm going to open the phone lines right there. And you can call us in at because I've been going for an hour. I want to let you be able to chime into this. And I got some more stuff. Don't move yet. We got to talk. 803-5995. I won't even play the rest of his nonsense. 803-5995 is the number. The line is open. Call in. What do you feel about what he had to say? What are your suggestions? What do you think about that plan? Are you more encouraged? Do you feel safer now the Prime Minister came forward with his so-called plan? How do you feel about what you just heard? Okay, call in. Let me know. You can call in on WhatsApp or regular call. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995. 803-5995. All right, call in now. All right, let me hear what you have to say about all we just went through this evening with the Prime Minister and what he had to say. Meanwhile, I want you to focus on a couple of things. All right, I want you to focus on a couple of things. The Bahamas is in serious peril. The crime rate in this country is almost unmatched around the world. All right, let me show you some actual crime numbers from around the world while we're waiting for y'all to call. Plenty of y'all on here, 1,600 of y'all on here. Come, y'all call in. Don't leave me hanging. All right, 803-5995. Let me show y'all something. I'll be waiting for y'all to call in. Where is it? This what you're looking at now is the murder rate. All right, this is the countries with the highest murder rate. All right, the countries with the highest murder rate. I'll answer the phone while you're looking at that. Good evening, you're live. Now everyone calling at the same time. Okay, good evening, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm awesome.
Okay, after listening to Davis' speech,
Yes.
I for sure don't feel any safer being out there on the street. I also feel like I don't want to be harassed when I'm trying to get my children to school on time.
Now you got to worry about the criminals who may harass you, and you got to worry about the police harassing you. We can't win for losing.
I don't feel about that. I don't like that not one bit. And after listening to his speech twice, I actually feel a little stupid up.
Wow.
Because he ain't making no sense. I don't feel no way that what he had to say was any solutions to these crime problems. He deterred no criminals who out there who might plan to come and do another day killing tomorrow. I don't feel like he stopped nobody and changed nobody's mind. If that was their plan for tomorrow, I think they can still go ahead and do that.
Wow.
So
I think the criminals are celebrating after hearing that. If I were a criminal, I would celebrate. I'd be like, wow, okay. You know, you'd have been a little timid over what the prime minister could say. After hearing that, you'd be like, oh, shoots. We could just take over now.
Yeah, I don't think he deterred anybody. He didn't put fear in nobody. None of the criminals. If they had any ideas or any plans to shoot up some people or do some crime tomorrow, they can still go ahead and do it. That's my 2 cents. That's how I feel. His speech should make no sense to me.
Wow. All right. Thank you for your call.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good evening. You're live.
Hey, Mr. Dean, how are you?
I'm awesome.
That's good. Listen, I don't reside in the Bahamas anymore, but
Okay.
I am a full organic Bahamian. And it hurts my heart to see where our country is at now. And listening to that awful speech that the Prime Minister gave is garbage.
Wow.
All is garbage. And, you know, I sit down and think of many things that Mr. Davis was alleged involved with before becoming Prime Minister. I don't know if you remember when those guys broke into his house. What became of them?
All of them, I think, except for one got killed. It was assassinated.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But, you know.
And that one didn't get killed because he was still in jail.
Okay. So, I mean, and, you know, to listen to a message from one of the biggest criminals, that's beyond. That's all I have to say, you know.
Wow.
That's all. But if the Bahamian people are tired, you know, it's time to, you know, to do what we have to do. Like, you know, crime isn't going to get any better because, you know, to hear a message from one of the biggest criminals in the Bahamas, like, you know, it's not going to get any better. They're not even talking about capital punishment, none of these things. So it's beyond. So we need to stand up and, you know, stop talking and take action. That's all I can say. Have a good evening.
All right. Someone made a comment here that this plan to create a police state has been in for the last 2 decades. They've been trying to do that. And that's what Brave want to do now. Yeah. Good afternoon. You're live.
Tonight,
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
All right.
Tonight. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Don't listen to your device. Listen to me on the phone.
Yes. You know, listening to that speech, I think Prime Minister Brave was think he was still in the bathroom practicing his speech. I don't think he realized he was speaking to the nation.
Wow.
You know, because they do roadblocks to check in to see if you have license and insurance. Why can't they do roadblocks and check these cars? Because a lot of time these guys is come running out those cars with those guns. You know, and they get curfew where at a certain time these fellas have to be off the street. It's a lot of ways you can tackle the problem that is going on because people, innocent children and people, innocent family are being killed. You know, and I think more can be done on behalf of our Prime Minister. Then that's my 5 cents.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right. Now, curfews won't help because most crimes happen in the day. Movement of drugs, guns, whatever, they happen in the day. And most crimes, even killings, happen actually during the day. So curfews itself won't help. But like I said, they know who the criminals are. All they have to do is target them. Just target them. They know exactly who the criminals are. Good afternoon, you're live.
Hey, good afternoon, my brother. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. How you doing?
I'm blessed, you know, through the grace of God, bro. Mr. Bain,
Mm-hmm.
let me say this. Crime is one of the most simple things to solve. We have two words among us. One is law and one is lawlessness. The only thing can defeat lawlessness is law.
Mm-hmm.
And where there's no law, there's no wrongdoing. And where law failed to be carried out, then lawlessness breeds and multiplies. One of the things, Brave Davis spoke like a moron.
Wow.
It is sad in this country to know the person who wrote his speech for him, they are also morons. I mean, I've never heard such a thing addressing the nation when it comes to crime. Mr. Dean, everything that you have said, I work around criminal law in my life. And some things that you have implemented, some things that I've talked about and have implemented and put on social media. Listen to me. Number one, when you name a thing, you own the thing. I said that they should come up with a law called gang law. Anytime you come up with a law and you name it and say this is a gang law, you know what person going to say who are in gang? They can say, wow, they got a law now called for us, gang law. And when that law is released, the key in it, that anyone who is found to be even associated with gangs, they will be liable. And the parents who know that their children is involved in gangs, you punish them also. Capital punishment must none. Then you commit a capital crime. The only punishment for a capital crime is capital punishment. And so when I listen to the Prime Minister, he makes me sick.
Wow.
Mr. Bain, let me say this to you. This man is I've never, and listen, sometimes I want to cry, you know. I mean, to see what we have sitting in the seat of authority. We the people, we put persons in this seat
We
of
all have
authority.
secrets.
And let me say this when I close
I
with this.
haven't always found life easy. You
God
think
has
I'm worthy of your love?
celebrate David in that seat of authority, show we the people power, choose and put him inside there. Now he's sitting and God has given him a sword. And the sword that was given to him, according to Romans chapter 13, is to execute the sword on those who do evil. When the leader who is sitting in the seat of authority and has the sword, and he failed to execute the sword on those persons who do evil, then evil will triumph, and evil will prevail and continue to prevail in this country. Mr. Bain, you have, what you have said, you are so right. I've listened to your comments and I listened to them. Listen, Mr. Bain, let me tell you something. You know, I support you as a man. I support you as a leader. I support you with a person, as a person with integrity. So let me say to you, my brother, if they would have taken your advice, we could take this country to another level, but they cannot do it because they don't have the ability to do it.
Yeah.
I believe that you is the one who will take this country into the new Bahamas. Now, let me just close with this. When they talk about permits today, let me just say this quickly. God already set up authority in the earth. You cannot go to God. Let me give you an example. If I am the manager of a food store, I put you, Mr. Bain, in charge as the supervisor. And I give you power. I said, Mr. Bain, if you find any of the staff stealing, call the police or fire them. I give you that power. You're sitting in that seat. But now you find out that the employees are stealing. You didn't call the police, and you didn't fire no one, and you come back to me. And
I can fire you.
And you come back to me.
I can fire you.
Man, not even fire you, Mr. Bain. You like to tell you, go back and do your job. You have the authority.
No, I can fire that one.
Yeah, I mean, you fire him. I mean, you
They
couldn't
was
fire
thieving
him.
and you ain't call the police? You
Yeah,
fired.
Okay, yeah, but I'm saying, I'm just trying to use an example.
I see.
David have the sword that God has given him. He's sitting in the seat of authority. And he failed. And I tell these people who go in to pray, they tell me they having prayer tomorrow. God is not going to hear them. God will say, I have authority in the earth. Go to authority, your people. Deal with the one who have the sword. And let him put pressure on him. And let him execute the sword.
Listen, witchcraft people is prey to. Satanists is prey to.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, I said it to you, darkness. They operating in darkness, and so you are correct.
Faith without works is dead.
Dead.
When Israel was faced with the Philistine army and Goliath, David did not pray. He did not get on his knees. No, who prayed? Saul. Saul was also a giant, and he was afraid. A lot of people forget that Saul was a giant. The Bible says he was head and shoulders above all men. He was also a giant, and he prayed, but David didn't pray, you know. David did not get on his knees. He picked up them rocks and ran towards the problem. We need leadership that is going to deal with the problem instead of running from it, jumping on planes, and going all over the world dancing.
Yeah, you see, and that's the same thing. What you're saying is this. Servant brave David was given a sword by the people, and we sit him in the seat of authority. Is it then if he failed to execute the sword? This is what the book of Leviticus says. The spirit of murder will never depart from our land. So we can pray until we fall at God. And here ain't no prayer about people talking, oh Lord, cause murder. You got to pray to stop the murder. God saying, get your stupid self up. You moron. You have authority in the earth that I set up. They represent me. They are my ministers to execute the sword. They are my angels. When they fail to execute the sword, I cannot help you.
Yeah.
So what we got to do? Faith without works, as you say, without dead. They got to go do the work to execute the sword. We got the faith and the hope, Mr. Ben. And I know and I believe that you will execute the sword on them that do evil.
You want me to tell you something? I have other calls, but I get to you all in a sec. Who calling in?
Okay.
Let me make you understand something. I was studying on crime around the world. It's something I was very interested in when I was a police. And I studied the recent crime statistics. And what I noticed is that the majority of the countries that have less murders and crime are non-Christian countries. The countries that have the most crime and murders are Christian countries.
You know why, Mr. Ben? Let me tell you why, Mr. Ben. The reason because law, see the outward action of a person, the only thing they are afraid of is the sword. And when law, because you have atheist countries like China and Singapore and other places where if you sit on the ground, you can get punished for that. Law is effective in the country. That is why we have all of the crime, because we would not need the law. We're trying to say love, love, love. No. Love execute the sword physically of the physical action. Love deal with the heart for them to change the individual if they accept the love, and they would not do the physical, wicked, evil things like murder to other persons.
All right, gotta take some other calls.
Thank you, brother.
All right, thank you, man.
Right.
Okay, missed that one. You call back now. 803-5995, 803-5995. While you're waiting for that to come in, oh Lord, I had so much more to show you all tonight. I wanted to show you all the actual Privy Council ruling. I'll get to that in a minute. I want you all to see what the Privy Council actually had to say. I have the documents, all right? What they actually had to say and what the government is hiding behind. I coming to you right now. What I want people on the screen to see, let me just pull this up on the screen quick. I want you to see the murder situation. Come right in now, call. I see you've been calling in for a little while. I want you all to see this. These are the top 10 countries with lowest murder rates. Japan is number 1. What I want you to know that Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, Luxembourg, Indonesia, Norway, Oman, Switzerland, United Arab Emirates, that's Dubai, them, and China, the lowest murder rates and crime rates, right? And almost all of these countries, well, all of them, except China, has direct benefits for their citizens. Japan has benefits, not like Dubai and them, but they have some benefits for their citizens. But their thing is culture. The reason they don't have a high murder rate is because of their culture and dishonor. Because when you commit a crime, your whole family is dishonored. And there's some other stuff. They have proper crime fighting and all that kind of stuff. I don't have time to break this down. I was planning to break all this down for you today, but ran out of time. Singapore, of course, we know that they don't play with crime, but it's not just their strictness. It's the fact that they let their people benefit from their from their country. They have 1 in 6 persons in Singapore has 1 in 6 households have $1 million in the bank, not worth $1 million, you know, $1 million in the bank. All right. So that is the biggest solution to crime, letting us benefit from our natural resources. All of these countries have them kinds of benefits. Singapore, Hong Kong doesn't, but of course they have a different culture there. Luxembourg has a lot of benefits for their citizens, etc. This is one of the Christian nations on here. Indonesia, they have a sovereign wealth fund and they have benefits for their people. Norway, sovereign wealth fund, benefits for their people. Oman, sovereign wealth fund, benefits for their people. Norway is the other predominantly Christian nation. Oman, all right, benefits. Switzerland, that's another kind of Christian nation. United Arab Emirates, all of these sovereign wealth fund and benefits for their people. No need for crime. And China. All right, I'll get to the rest of it later. Let me just take the call. Good afternoon, you're live.
Hey, good night, Lincoln. How you doing?
I'm awesome, man. How you doing?
I'm great, man. Listen, Lincoln, down in Golden House, right? I was wondering. The Prime Minister sent his team down in Golden House about this shanty town, right?
Mm-hmm.
They started preparations late part of last year, let's say in December, right? Now here comes now in January. Now you believe new structures is going up in the shanty town in Golden House?
Yes. See,
you believe that?
Only Haitians, only Bahamians scary, you know. These fellas ain't scared. They don't care. And some of them, like for example, in that area, Golden Isles, they had put demolition orders on some of them houses, and the next day the people come back with building permit. The next day, it went from demolition order, and I showed it on my live, to building permit on the same house from the illegal immigrants. Play in. They have this stuff for the public to see, and then they go and do nothing. They broke down. There was 66 houses supposed to be broken down. John there to the corner by the detention center. 66. They broke down 6 that no one really was in, and that was really kind of abandoned. And the other 60 still there.
And they harboring a bunch of dope smokers.
Yeah. Guns and drugs and everything in those shanty towns.
And I mean, I don't know. I mean, Vaughn Miller has nothing. I mean, I don't know where he is. Where he is.
He's trying to get his pension. Once he does 2 terms, he's straight for life.
Vaughn Miller, I don't know, man. I don't know. They need to do something about it, man. We really need to get rid of this country, man.
We do.
We really need to, man.
Yeah, we do. Thank you for your call, man.
But continue to do the good work, Lincoln.
Thank you, man. So these are the countries with the lowest rates, and these are the countries with the highest rates, murder rates in the world. The Bahamas is number 11. So our government is failing. See, number 11. Number 11. Let me show you what we right after Nigeria. Trinidad doing better than us. We worse than Mexico. All right, Mexico now. We worse than Iraq. Iraq got it better than us. Iraq, Haiti, doing better than us. But we sending people to Haiti. See, Iraq doing better than us. Yeah. Look how far down Haiti. Look at where Haiti is. Haiti, Afghanistan, doing better than the Bahamas. Jesus. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. We're in serious problems in this country. I want to show you something. Let me just touch on this. I want you all to see something. Philip Brave Davis, last thing I can touch on. Philip Brave Davis made this big speech to Life at Key. You know, they told him that they did a study and they said that the strong points of the COI is immigration, is the natural resources talk and people benefiting from their country and basically equality. All right. And so he decided that they would come and fake with immigration. You see all that stuff. They'd lock people up and let them go. You know, there's more immigrants in Harbour Island now, more everywhere. But they would flam the people to kind of take away some of the sting from the COI. And he went in Life at Key making this big speech about this and that. He had Latre, who wrote the speech, come on the media and talk about it. Yeah, we got to stand up to the oligarchs. I heard they had some trolls out there making a statement that the COI don't name these oligarchs. Boy, I don't know. They must have been hiding under a rock in Graveyard somewhere, because from our whole documentaries, we didn't just name these oligarchs. We showed where they live, their address. We showed their companies here and in the United States. We showed everything with them. We tracked their companies down and showed their bank records and their accounting records in England, etc. I don't know what these trolls talking about, but the COI don't call these oligarchs names. But it's us who were the first and only ones to be calling names, because the PLP ain't calling their name. They ain't calling their name. Only the COI is standing up to oligarchs on both sides. We call the black oligarchs. We call the white oligarchs. We call all of their names, every single one. But he went to make this big speech in Life at Key, wasting time having food with these oligarchs and just reading this speech that impresses no one really. And he started talking about these people who had this advantage and that advantage, and we need to give the advantage back to the people. Well, I want you to see the reality, because I tired of Bahamians getting swing. While they making you think they working against the other one or they fighting against each other, don't stop getting swing, yeah? These fellas is one. These fellas, on different teams, they working together to swing the Bahamian people. They working together to swing the Bahamian people. Before they'd never let you see them together. Now they so bold and they feel that they didn't swing y'all. They got your love over them anyway, that they don't care. They letting you see them together, having lunch, having dinner, living life together. So he went into Life at Key, to talk to the people who run in the country and to point at them. It ain't only them. These guys, these oligarchs on one side is partnering with the PLP oligarchs together to rape and rob the Bahamian people. All right? They are working together. All right? That's Paula Wesco. That's Sharon Wilson. All right? They are working together. I don't want you to think that these people separate. They are playing y'all as a Bahamian people. Y'all better wake up. So while Brave is talking about this advantage and that advantage and whatever, they swinging y'all all the way to the bank. All right? I want you to see something. They talk about how this one get advantage because they had the natural resources and stuff. Well, their PR company told them that that's where we're big, because we talk about the natural resources, so they should just copy whatever they hear Lincoln say, and then it's going to sound good. Well, look at this. This is the investor, right? So he's talking like these oligarchs was working on their own to do what they was doing. This Paula Wesco son with Perry Christie. See them there? So, and the Minister of Works was Brave Davis. So this actually came under Brave Davis. So this Brave empowering them, groundbreaking for $23 million boutique hotel. Prime Minister Perry Christie was among those attending the August 26th groundbreaking ceremony of Mahogany Hill. in New Providence. All right, Mark Olowasco is pictured. And Perry Christie said, the Prime Minister Christie attended the August 26th groundbreaking ceremony of Mahogany Hill, a $23 million boutique hotel to be built in New Providence. The project is a brainchild of Mark Olowasco, investment advisor and businessman, and owner of Mahogany House Restaurant, and his daughter Lauren. During his remarks, caller, just hold 1 sec. I just want to read this first, then you can call back. The project is the brainchild of Mark Olowasco, investment advisor, etc., etc. During his remarks, Perry Christie praised Olowasco. See it there? During his remarks, Perry Christie praised Olowasco for being a Bahamian investing in the domestic hotel and tourism industry. Perry Christie praised him. The Prime Minister said, this fine hotel. Okay, hold the line, call. I just got to finish reading this what I'm reading. Just hold the line, or you can call back. The Prime Minister said, this fine hotel will not only add to our tourism product, et cetera, all right? He praised Olowasco. This is the same brave them who now talking about these ones had advantage in this one. Y'all help them. Y'all working together. You just doing this talking point to make people feel like you're going to work against them. Now, see, I have the picture big and bold on the screen. Let me tell you who's on this screen. The first person on the screen, let me pull them up, is the former president of the Senate and chairman of the Bahamas Environment, Science, and Technology Commission, Lynn Olowasco. So the first person, that's her right here, that's Lynn Olowasco. All right? And so this is Joy Druberlu, the second person here. This is Philip Brave Davis, this short fella, look, this this short fella right here is Philip Brave Davis. All right? This is Perry Christie. This is Mark Olowasco, right next to him. All right? This one, yeah, he ain't showing his face too good, but this is Obi Wilchcombe, right here. This is Kalis Roll, and this is Thomas Whitehead. So Brave Davis was right here with the shovel helping Olowasco, Lynn and Mark. Now he and Life Key talking about something else. These fellas playing y'all, and they will say anything to get their way. All right? I think Brave made some comments too. Let me see. Also attending the event with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works and Urban Development. All right? I think he made some comments. I don't want to waste time looking for that. All right? So also, I want you to look at this. Y'all look good. All right? So this is the Olowascos again, doing a big, they're doing a big deal, building a nice hotel. It's a different hotel now. So they're doing everything. So she's a lawyer in this one. But another big hotel is being built. All right? And so they're making it happen again. Look here, big sign-in going on. Look at that, sign-in. It's the documents. All right? This is Olowasco. This who Brave just spent Life a Key about. Oh, we can level the playing field, this and that. Y'all are not too much of an advantage. But who is sitting next to Olowasco? No, not him. Him. Philip Brave Davis. Right next to Olowasco. And look who's next to him. Chester Cooper. These people working together. I don't want you to think for 1 second. I can take the call, but if you look through the documents of Focal, of Awak Homes, of all these companies, you're going to see all of them. If you look through the documents of Commonwealth Bank, you will see these same characters over and over again. They have their people in all of these companies, and they're working together to rape and rob the Bahamian people. Let me go to this caller before I say the rest of what I want to say. Caller, you live.
Hey, what's up, man? Everything cool?
Yeah, man.
All right. So, yeah, basically what you're saying is so true because like a Perry Ingram, they have dinner every Friday out by Sabaros. That's a great restaurant. My friend had to show me it just yesterday to prove it. Friday. Every Friday. All right. Chester Cooper, take a picture with his signing. With who? The last Prime Minister, the F&F. His best of friends, shaking hands.
Mm-hmm.
Saying hi to you know, but it just shows how powerful your live is too, to be honest with you, because the minute last live you did talked about the prayer thing, and then 2 to 3 hours later, the Prime Minister come out and say, we're going to have a prayer. Like, and then what's up with the preacher who got prosecuted, basically? It takes so long to show the video for us to judge him, you know, and he still had a great turnout, and it shows, and come to find out, only PLP was mostly inside that church, and they didn't like it. So it shows, what they're trying to show is, if you talk about us, we're going to take you out of your position, you know, but thank God, God had his hands.
Yeah.
Now, getting into this crime, you know, it's quite easy. This is my solution, to put cameras on every corner, have a live building, broadcasting live. So that means you got a couple people working in this building at jobs that directly go to the police. So just like how you live right now, there are systems in London that has live things. Nassau's only so small.
Yeah.
So it ain't like 20 people dying a day. It's like 1 or 2 dying every other day. If you catch exactly where they go, okay, they went through this corner. You might have a little delay, but guess what? You ain't past the next corner. So this car got to be right there. Go right there. This is the street name. Boom. We got him. You understand what I'm saying? It's that simple. Because apparently they ain't paying those people to fly those drones to sit down in no coop all night, all day. It's impossible. They can't pay nobody for that.
Yeah.
You understand? That's military pay.
Yeah.
You know, and so that means those drones somewhere catching dust because they didn't bring up the drones. What was the drones for anyway? You know? I mean, I thought it was for crime or, you know, the boats or something like that, but apparently they had big news about these drones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, apparently they can't pay the person to fly these drones. That's the only next thing. But anyway, he's doing a good job. God bless everybody. Y'all know what it is, man. Like, we see what's going on in front of our face. We're just playing stupid by these people who are already getting paid with these contracts. They want to keep their position. They want to keep their family eating, so they can manipulate you.
Yep. Thanks, Jacob, man. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, watch this. I'm going to let you go to your bed right now. This is the directors of Focal. All right. This is the directors of Focal. Got all their documents here. I've already shown you our Combs. You could see that's FNM and PLP, all the names there. I'm trying to rush now to just get through this. I don't want to go over 2 hours, right? So this Focal, you know, Frankie Wilson and them, you know, Frankie, they always have the people. Look here. Bishop Neil C. Ellis on the board of Focal. Oh. Hey. Rikino was talking about our natural resources and all that and some other stuff. It's Frankie Wilson's daughter. Tommy Turnquest daughter's on this too. Let me just keep going through. So also John Bethel, right? So you say, okay, who's John Bethel? All right, I ain't gonna touch the other people on there, right? Because they ain't really directly in politics. So I just showed you Neil Ellis. It's Focal. Frankie Wilson. I can leave the other people alone. All right. John Bethel. Oh, okay, that's Focal. So what they'll do is they'll have their people to look out for their interests. So what is John Bethel doing there? Who is John Bethel? Okay, let's look for something else. John Bethel. Who is John Bethel? Whoever he is. What is this? Hot Mix? Okay, where are the people? Okay, let's look for the people at Hot Mix. Bahamas Hot Mix. Oh, look. John Bethel. Right next to Craig Simonet. Oh, so this Bahamas Hot Mix, Brent Simonet Dem Company. See this Myers, Anthony Myers. All right, John Bethel on there. John Bethel on Focal. Okay. Everything is connected and everything is mixed. Okay, what's this? Commonwealth Bank. Okay, I can leave non-politicians alone. All right. And when you go down, oh, look, Craig Simonet. These fellas everywhere. Robert Sandy Sands. He's not a banker. He's a hotelier. Oh, and they say that here. But he's to look out for the PLP interests on there. There's some serious stuff happening, you know. That's some more stuff to show you. I wanted to show you all the arguments in the House where Ingram was talking about Perry Christie and them the homes that they was breaking down when I fought for the people in Pinewood, Linden Estates, and we stopped them. And then Perry Christie was saying across the board, "Oh, y'all is Commonwealth Bank, y'all do this and that and this," but they was flamming the people, making it seem like they was having some argument, but all them really working together. They make it seem like, "Oh, you doing this, you doing that," and Perry said, "Yeah, well, all are swinging the people." He sat in the house. Maybe on my next live, I'll actually play the video. I have it here, but I want to get through this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for tuning in and spending your last 2 hours here with us. Say Robert Sands, Beneath Miles, River Snapper. Yep, they'll always have their people in the different banks in different areas. All of these people are connected and working together, different factions, and they'll always have their person representing to represent their interests. They're working together to keep us down, Bahamas. And it's time for you to wake up. All I want is a Bahamas for Bahamians, where we can benefit from our natural resources. It is true. They've been lying to you. They on the boards of these companies that are benefiting from our natural resources. You heard Brave Davis say it in his speech. They've benefited from our natural resources and gotten an advantage. But hold on. Before, they were saying we had no natural resources. Brave Davis was in the cabinet as the Minister of Works, while Perry said we have no natural resources. Ingram said we had no natural resources while signing over our Aragonite to the same Myers who I just showed you. Are y'all going to let these people keep telling you that I'm selling you a dream? The question is, what do you have to lose? Right now, we're losing everything. We can't get worse than we are right now. I want to thank the people of Abaco for showing up and coming out. Thank you so much. We're going to make this happen. Don't forget to support the movement. Don't forget to support the movement. Here's the QR codes. That's one link there that goes to GoFundMe. Does it? I think so. And this is another link that goes directly to us here. So the links are right there in the chat. You can, whether you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, we're on everything right now live. They could only see how much 100 people they see wherever they watch it, but they can't see the whole gambit of people. And that's how we like it. And so they can't really tell what's going on. But click on those links, scan whatever you see, and support the movement. This take funds to get this done. We traveled to Abaco. That took funds to get done. We got other islands to go to. It's going to take funds to get it done. We got to move around. You got to help the movement. All right. We're having a lottery. So not a lottery. What do you call it? A raffle. We're having a raffle. And so you can come to our office and you can buy your tickets. I'm going to see if there's a way we can set up for you to buy tickets on our website also. Yeah, we'll see if there's a way we could set up for you to do that in this coming week. But you can come to our office or get into it with our people. If you want to help sell tickets, come help sell tickets. But we are raffling off. We got a car and a lot of other prizes. It's come raffle. It's only $10. Come help us raise money for this. The FNM has raffle. The PLP have raffles. We got to raise money. It's only going to happen if you help it make it happen. All right? Do your part, and we can make this work. All right? So come to the office this week, or we're going to try to set it up online this week where you could just pay online and you will get your ticket book. All right? But thank you so much for being a part of this. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all been getting swing. And we got to make a determination if we want to move to the New Bahamas or if we want to stay backwards. All right? It's time for something new. It's time for something new. A new generation is rising up. And I'm going to be right here with them. I'm going to stand in the front lines and take the bullets with everyone else who's willing to have the courage to move us to the next Bahamas. The new and next generation of Bahamians who are tired of the old ways, tired of the same old creepy people making all the money, and think now that they're going to take that and give it to their children. Not that they like it. It's time for us and our children to get a piece of this pie. There's more than enough to go around for all of us. There was so much more to talk about that I'm going to go live again on Sunday And so for now, we're going to be on Sundays. So don't worry about the Tuesday thing. We're going to go live on Sundays. All right. I know it's football season, but them fellas are already rich. We got to do what we have to do. We got to get this thing together. So I'm going to do Sundays for now. And so I see someone else scanned. 6 people scanned so far. Thank you so much for doing so. We appreciate you. That's the only way we're going to make this happen. Thank you for scanning. All right. So we appreciate you for making this happen. It will only happen if you make it happen. It will only happen if you make it happen. The next Bahamas, you are responsible for it. You have to educate your family and friends. You have to educate your family and friends and make this happen. Don't be lazy. We are fighting every day for the Bahamian people. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a cause for which I am willing to sacrifice. This is a cause for which I am willing to die. Stand with me.
And proportionate
Stand
punishments
with
are
me. Oh
imposed.
Lord, they put Brave back on there. Stand with me as I stand with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you. I'll continue to sacrifice and fight. We got a lot more to talk about. We're going to continue to educate the Bahamian people about our natural resources, about our carbon credits. They are right now making every attempt to steal our carbon credits, billions of dollars. Notice they haven't back-talked me. They haven't said what he's saying isn't true, because it is true. They're hoping that you don't pay attention to it and that you don't get angry, that they will thief and head for the hills. That's what the plan is. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. I love you. Buy your raffle tickets, support the movement, and we're going to make this happen. I love you. See you next time. God bless you.
And it's Bahamians unprepared to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas, that you don't deserve to have it.
Now let that sink in. Come on. Change ain't coming, change is here. You can hear it, you can feel it in the air. All politicians, put your hands in the air. Just a stick up, let me make myself clear. I'm a grown man talking, so you know what to do. No one's leaving till we figure out the truth. Why you laughing? This ain't nothing funny. So no one gets to go home till we figure out this money. Change ain't coming, change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Now if you ain't standing with us, then I know you against us. Bahamas, this ain't no time for us to be lukewarm. This is war, and we riding through the storm. Come on. Let's go, shalom to all my Hebrew brothers, to all my Muslim and Rastas, we need you, brother. Selassie, I know, I can't forget the Christians. Let's put our differences aside, cause it's a bigger mission. See, they've been doing this for years, trying to separate us, kinda trying to keep us down and never elevate us. Now it's time to praise the Lord, cause he's about to take us over to the promised land where we can celebrate us. I got to do it for my kids that ain't even born yet, so the minute that they born, they already gotta check that check. Gotta have that time to collect, so they won't know how it feels to have that yoke around their neck, yeah. See, y'all been robbing my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather. It's like y'all can't get enough. Y'all just keep eating and eating and giving us nothing but taxes. Y'all.
What happened in Dubai with the citizens?
Monarchy, and monarchy take care of their people and make sure that they're paid 2,000 per family, maybe 3,000, and life is cheaper there. Life is cheaper, but all the Dubai citizens are paid, very paid.
From who?
From the monarch, from the king.
From the king?
Yeah, from the king.
Wow.
Money comes in through the government. The government distributes the money to the people, and there are no poor people. They're like only
Dubai,
poor people in
you
Dubai
cannot be
are
poor.
those that
No.
You know, a lot of people wonder how Dubai became a very big famous and rich city.
You see, if you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption. That's what brings your country at the top. You don't need anything. We want water, we don't have agriculture, we don't have mining.
That's